Hey, what it do, what the business is.
It is another week in the books with the On Deck TV show. I am Spike Lou.
Man, holla at your boy Animal Brown, Animal_Brown if you're looking for me on socials.
Absolutely, man. And I am Spike Lou on those same social sites. Holla at your boy. Hey, B, how you feeling out there?
Hey, this is gonna be an action-packed episode. I'm excited for this. I'm not gonna lie. I'm real excited.
Sound like some hating. Sound like some hating finna happen.
Because the internet is out of
That's what it sounds like.
control.
Internet going crazy right now. The internet is going crazy right now, and it's a lot to discuss.
What's good with you
What are
though?
we getting into this week? I'm good, man. I've been running. I got my Nike, I
I see
downloaded
you.
my Nike app like you told me to.
For sure.
Absolutely. Been getting me about 1.5 miles in, trying to get up to that 3 so I can join you on a nice little weekend before it get too cold outside. So
For sure.
getting my health together, man. So look forward to that.
Respect that most definitely,
Other
man.
than that, getting it. What about you?
I'm doing the same thing. I'm still on my run shit. I'm trying to get these 75 miles this month. It's gonna be rough, but I'm gonna try. I'm pushing
Nice.
for it.
Mm, you got it.
Man, we gonna see. But as alluded to earlier, action-packed episode, man. We've got a new J. Cole 16. We're gonna discuss where his standing is at currently in the hip-hop game, coming off of the beef with air quote, beef with Kendrick Lamar. Future's got a new mixtape. We're going to discuss and debate whether he is on our mixtape Mount Rushmore. LL Cool J finally dropped his new album. We'll talk about how we feel about that. And of course, we got to discuss the Big Sean first week sales. But first,
Mm.
rest in peace. Coming off of the top 50 Atlanta rappers list from Complex, Rich Homie Quan, this caught everybody off guard. I think that's safe to
Mm.
say. Of course, he blew up in the early 2010s, was part of Rich Gang, had several hit records coming out of Atlanta. He was 33, 34 years old. Apparently, he died of an overdose. No word on if it was accidental or that's the way it seems based on the 911 call. If you listen to it, which is crazy. But crazy when I saw this coming across Twitter, man, a whole lot of people were showing him love, man. What say you?
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to Rich Homie Quan. Thoughts and prayers, his family and friends. It's crazy how that information comes out, man. Nowadays, we have to process it where you don't know if it's true. You're waiting for confirmation. You're seeing people talk about it, and then it finally confirms it. It's almost like grieving twice
Yep.
in nowadays culture because like of everything that goes through to get there, man. So again, thoughts and prayers to his family and rest in peace to him. And piggybacking off of that, very, very, very not coincidental, but this lines up with it. There's an episode that I just did of Another Week in the Books. We had a young brother on there who was amazing. He was talking about his struggles with addiction, addicted to pills, having to check into rehab, and just how it affected him in life. That's the latest episode of Another Week in the Books. I do a lot of podcasts, man. It was one of the most phenomenal episodes that I've done. Not and no thanks to me, just thanks to that brother's story. It was amazing, man. So people that are listening to this, man, if you get a chance, go listen to the latest episode of Another Week in the Books. It's talking about what Rich Homie Quan, us saying RIP to him and what they think he died of. It's about addiction. If you're struggling with addiction, there's some links there, but RIP to him, man. Go check out that episode. It may help you, help somebody that you know. It was amazing, man.
Super dope, man. The word on the street is there was what was it? Damn, I don't forgot the name of the damn it was something that was laced
Fentanyl?
with fentanyl.
Fentanyl, probably a perk lakes for fentanyl.
Yeah. There you go. Do people do that on purpose? I don't understand. Do they get it with fentanyl on purpose, or do they not know it's got that?
They don't know that has it. So how
Oh,
it usually would go, the pill market changed because they put the new restrictions on it. So people were used to be able to get subscriptions and people would sell subscriptions or they'll just go get them themselves. Doctors are a lot less hesitant or a lot more hesitant to subscribe now. So you have like the cartels in Mexico that are making the pills in factories themselves, just like they do cocaine or they do weed. In order to make those pills stronger, they're lacing them with fentanyl. Being
mm,
that it's not regulated, you don't know how much going in one batch versus the next batch. So this is why you get these people who die from taking the pills and not knowing that fentanyl was in there. They'll go to somebody who they don't usually buy from. They'll
Mm-hmm.
go to a source that they usually they're not familiar with them, and they get these pills that come from Mexico versus them being a prescription. And yeah, this happens.
That's crazy. Yeah, you
Insane,
hate to see that. Super young, 34.
insane, man. 34 years old, bro.
Crazy. Rest in
That's
peace, rich
insane.
homie. I will say before we wrap that up though, did you notice what's my boy Math Hoffa? He
Yeah.
posted a clip of when Rich Homie was on his show talking about addiction.
hmm
Is that the same as when Vlad posts the interview of people when they pass away?
That's a good question. No,
Yeah.
and I think we addressed this when we did it with Vlad. Vlad track record bad because Matt Hoffa usually don't do stuff like that.
He knew
I
to it.
think well, not even think. It seems that if what Matt Hoffa was doing is in order to, yes, he's print trending, so yes, the videos are going to do numbers, but it's also helpful to people. Just like some people may look at me mentioning another week in the books as we just said this about him is like, oh, you trying to get this free promo. But I think there's also a lane from it when you like, well, no, there's some content out here that will help people who are still alive, either grieving or struggling with this.
Mm,
So Vlad just his track record just too dirty. So some people can be helpful when they do it, and Vlad just don't with no regard. It didn't have
mm.
to do with nothing somebody said or why they died. He just putting it out because he got it. So
It's the,
that's what I think the difference in the two is. What you say?
that's the same, but I'm it's definitely the same.
So
Math
you so
math
you
hasn't been
throwing me
doing.
in the Vlad box for just mentioning it?
Listen, math. No, not you. Math hasn't been doing this long enough to have the catalog of people that Vlad does. So when something happens, there's a large
Mhm.
possibility that that person has been on Vlad at some point in the last 10 years. Math only been doing this shit for maybe two. So it's not the same for him. So he just doesn't have the back catalog yet. But trust and believe, good, bad, or indifferent,
Mm.
if somebody is
Speaks
trending
to
and you haven't if somebody is trending and you have an interview clip with them, you're going to repost the clip. I don't good, bad, or indifferent. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying nothing wrong with it. I'm just
okay,
telling you that's
man.
what it is.
I can't put them in the same. Yeah. We ain't putting nothing for Dame out. His teeth fell out. He been
We need to.
trending
We need
all
to repost
weekend.
that shit.
We got
For the repost that motherfucker right now, dude.
oh
We're gonna get to
shit, that's
Dame in a second, man.
hilarious,
He been
man.
cooking. Dame hot right now. We don't talk about him 3 episodes in a row. We're gonna get to that in a second. But first, the
Mhm.
biggest news clearly of the week was that the Super Bowl halftime show performer for next year, this season, Super Bowl in New Orleans was announced. It was Kendrick Lamar Duckworth. My
Let's
question to you,
go.
when you heard the news, give me one. We're going to take the PTI approach. Give me one word to
Okay.
describe Kendrick Lamar being named the Super Bowl performer in New Orleans.
I'm going to cheat AB and use two words, but it's one phrase, and you're familiar with it because you like this game, and it goes like this. Finish him. Cook this nigga up, pack him up, and let's get him up out of here. You want to pick with a nigga and say, oh, you're gonna have to stand doing it this time. I'm gonna make you say something. All right, baby. All right, well, let me show you what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the Super Bowl halftime show, and what AB said was impossible. AB on this very platform said was impossible is that niggas would be singing and dancing to a pedophile diss. Well, let me tell you what's about to happen in February of 2025, AB. The whole world is going to be saying a minor 100 million, 200 million strong. Pack that nigga up. Let's get Drake up out of here. This is how you capitalize a beef. If anybody questions or had any doubt on who won this or not, the nigga that's doing the Super Bowl at the end of this year, based off frying a nigga up all of this year, that's who won. So my one word, AB, is finish him, which is two words, one phrase. But I know you don't like this, and I can't wait to hear how you hate on it.
Um, Immediately going to Drake. Drake being on niggas' minds
Oh
24/7
shit!
is
Oh,
insane. I'm
he go
asking
to
about
Drake niggas. He go to
Kendrick Lamar. I'm asking about a very specific
man. Get out
person,
of here.
and somehow Drake still ends up in the conversation. That's nuts. Um, First of
Just
all, this being a hip hop act being at the Super Bowl is always going to be a W, in my opinion. That's always a thumbs up. But if I had to go with one word to describe this, it's political because that's how it feels.
Oh my
Um,
God.
Jay-Z is my guy. I don't stand for any
Oh my
Jay-Z slander. I think he's the GOAT. I believe
God.
that he thinks that the GOAT next in line is on his ass is Drake, and he is trying to pile on
Oh my
and
God.
get that nigga
This is
away from
crazy.
that GOAT title that he is hawking him down with. This feels political. We have been on this show. People are acting like they just found out the Super Bowl is in New Orleans next year. We talked about that months ago because it was announced months ago. And we sat on this show and
Hmm.
said who would be perfect at the Super Bowl. Wayne's
Hmm.
name came up. You and I both agreed that we don't think that he can do one by himself. And people in the
Hmm.
comments felt differently. Well, some people in the comments felt differently. I don't think Kendrick Lamar can hold a Super Bowl by himself. But I think in New Orleans, it makes more sense to have a New Orleans. That was the whole point of Rock Nation taking this over because people were outraged at Maroon 5 doing the Atlanta Super Bowl when Atlanta is rich in hip hop, probably one of the most, if not first, second richest city in hip hop. And so that's kind of New Orleans is the same way. It's rich in hip hop and they went hip hop, but they got Kendrick Lamar, someone who can't, in my opinion, on a solo level, can't do a solo. I think three people can do a
Ah,
solo Super Bowl. He not one of them.
yeah, you're insane. That's wrong. You're talking about a 14-minute set, AB.
Yes,
14 minutes.
he
That's
don't
it.
make Super Bowl music, bro. I'm sorry. He makes dope ass music. He doesn't make Super Bowl music. That's what I'm saying.
But
You gonna
between
play King
Damn
Kunta?
and Black,
The fuck?
yes, nigga, what are you
Nah,
talking
nah,
about?
nah.
Absolutely.
We talking about two
King
different
Kunta is
events,
gonna go
then.
up at the Super Bowl. It's gonna go
No.
up at the Super Bowl, and you're going to see it. This is in line with what Jay-Z has been doing. I'm not sure what you guys are saying or why people are in such an uproar that it wasn't Lil Wayne, which is another conversation that we're about to have. I want to address first what you're saying and saying there's only three people that could do a Super Bowl. That's just not true.
Solo.
Shout out to the good brother Sean Walsh. He put a list. Nobody does it solo though. Usher just did the Super
The
Bowl. It
weekend
wasn't
just did this,
solo. And nigga
but
had
that
Lil
but
Jon, Ludacris.
those were all songs that he was featured on, though. That's different, in my opinion. That's
Kendrick
different.
got features. What are we talking about?
What song? What song is he
Kendrick has
featured on? What are
features.
you gonna bring out Rich the Kid for
I
new
don't know, nigga.
features? The fuck? What are we
he can
talking
bring
about?
he can bring out Pusha T.
No, he can't. Nobody know.
it
Nobody
makes
watching the
it
Super Bowl knows
makes
who Pusha T is, dude. You can't do that.
yeah. What happens though is if you're talking about Jay-Z, yes, it's in New Orleans, and if he no one is to say that he can't bring Wayne out to do a couple songs, and they don't even have to be featured. He can just show love. Kendrick Lamar can make that decision. It doesn't have to be on Jay-Z. So what you said was funny in the beginning, how people immediately went to Drake. I find it funny how people immediately went to Jay-Z and called him a hater because this was the pick for the Super Bowl performance, especially with the year that Kendrick Lamar had. We're talking about one of the most, we've talked about it on here, one of the most standout moments in hip hop history happened this year. And the man who was responsible for it was available to do the Super Bowl. And I'm hip hop centric and Jay-Z, and I'm the director of it. It seems like an obvious choice, to be honest with you. And I can tell him, man, it'll be really dope if you can include Lil Wayne in your set, but that don't got to be news now. It can still be a surprise for February when it comes out. So we don't know that that's not going to happen. But I do think this is a layup, as you say. Yes, I'm going with Kendrick Lamar, and they're performing not like us at the Super Bowl.
Listen, you want to know what the layup would be? The layup is Lil Wayne. That's the lay. Don't tell me that Kendrick Lamar
No, it's
in New
not.
Orleans is a layup, but Wayne ain't. That doesn't make sense, dude. Like niggas is capable.
Wayne,
Of
bro.
course he's hot. Yes, he's
Okay,
hot.
let me ask you this: how
Yeah.
is Wayne going to do a Super Bowl performance at his age and the lack of stage presence that he already has? You're telling me that
I've
you're
never been.
expecting 400 million. You've seen him lately. I've seen
I've
clips of
never
him
been to a
lately
Wayne
forgetting
show.
lines. There's video. Thankfully, we have the internet now, so it doesn't matter if you've been to a Wayne show. You can look it up and see what I'm talking about. This nigga's forgetting lines, barely moving. I'm not. I'm Jay-Z. Famous line. It's not businessman. Business. The businessman line. Famous line. This is business, bro. It ain't politics. It's business. I would be putting my name in danger if I'm Jay-Z putting Lil Wayne out there before I pick someone like Kendrick Lamar. Because you know who's going to look at me crazy? The people who I don't say he works for, partners with to
Yeah,
do this event. They'll be like, you rolled this nigga out here 43 that don't remember the lines, that did this questionable shit in front of 400 million people. I'm not even risking that if I'm Jay-Z. If I'm not signing off on Benny Siegel being with me for bail for a couple $100,000, I'm not putting this deal on the line for for wanting Wayne to go perform in the Super Bowl. I just this stage has passed Wayne by for a 13-minute full set. It just has.
I'm
Can
not
he come
I'm
out
not
as a feature? Absolutely.
I'm not saying, and I'm still standing on what I said before when we talked about this. I don't think Wayne can do it solo. I think Wayne and Friends makes the most sense. That's what. So I'm not even
Okay.
saying he can do it solo. I still don't believe that. I didn't say it 5 months ago, and I'm gonna stand on that. But
Mm-hmm.
it makes more sense. Nobody said, and traditionally when it comes to Super Bowl, it's legacy acts, and so that's cool. I
Mm-hmm.
do like that he is pushing someone who's current now. That's cool. That's cool. All that is cool. But stop acting like the layup isn't Wayne though and Friends. Like niggas got to stop acting like that's not the layup. Like all of us, oh, but Beyonce did a show in '03 and she's not from New nigga. No shit, nigga. That's why we switched it up and got Hove in this bitch in the first place, dude. Like motherfuckers bringing up old ass shit. Shut up, dude. No
Well,
shit.
I think it's nearsighted though. It's nearsighted to think that Kendrick Lamar is not abreast enough of hip hop history that he wouldn't include that in his show. We don't know that that's not going to happen. Like,
I
why
don't
are we
want him
putting
to
this
include.
on
I
Jay?
don't want him
Like,
to be
if I'm
there.
Jay-Z,
I want somebody from there to
see,
to
now
lead
you're
the
just
show.
hating. That's
No.
what I'm saying. You hating now though. If I'm Kendrick Lamar and I put on a hell of a show, I know that I can include New Orleans culture in that show. We got 13 minutes. I can give y'all 4. Wayne can come out and do whatever New Orleans song you want him to do. Juvie can come out and do the hook or back that ass up. That's fine. But I can't pick these niggas to lead the show. Like, it's a lot of money on the line here when we talking about advertisers and sponsors, and you talking about rolling Wayne and Friends out there. Niggas, you
Yes.
crazy? That's
Yes.
insane. That's
No.
insane.
Listen.
That is insane, AB.
There are 3 people walking the face of the earth that can hold a solo Super Bowl
In
showdown that
hip hop.
rap. That's it.
And who are they? Who are they?
It's Kanye, Drake, and Jay-Z. Those are the end. That's the 3. They don't need no friends. They don't need no guest appearances. They don't need anything. Those are the 3.
Outcast.
That's fringe. That's close though. It is close, but I don't think they could do a whole set though. Because you can't do 2 verses.
You don't think Outkast got
So that means you'd have to double the songs because you can't do 2 verses a song.
that's even better for them though. They can just do one good verse off of more songs that they have.
What are they gonna do? Me and you, your mom and your cousin.
I can do a big. Absolutely, nigga. They coming out to that at elevators. You ride the elevator up to the Super Bowl stage, bumping elevators. Come on, man. Y'all got to give me a check for this. Outkast, when it happens, y'all give me a check for this. It's really simple. You do that, then you go into the hey y'all. Like come on, what are we talking about?
Dude,
that's easy.
Listen, this is a Super Bowl. This is not the Ozone Awards. That's fire at the Ozone Awards. Yes.
Oh, stop it,
the
bro.
Source Award, that's dope. That's the 3.
What do you think about?
Let me ask you this.
What do you think about? Go ahead.
Real quick. Do you know where the Super Bowl is at in 2026?
No, where is it?
It's in LA. You know where it's at in 2027?
LA, what?
Yes, it was.
Wait, it was just in LA, right?
It was, yes.
God damn.
And it's back. Where is it at the year after that, you ask? It's in Cali. It's in San Francisco. We have 2 Cali fucking dates following this one, and y'all niggas pick Kendrick Lamar for this one? Man, all right, dude. Shout out to Cam.
He can do the next. Hey, that's what happened when you squash Drake. I can do 2 Super Bowls straight. Who's to say he won't do the next one too? Nigga, we coming back next year. Let's do it. Man, you telling me the crowd won't go wild when Kendrick bring out Rihanna?
To do what?
When Kendrick bring out, he got a song with her.
Bring out who? Bring out who else, man? Who else he gonna bring out?
He's gonna bring out Wayne.
I don't know. That's debatable.
Who's to say Hov won't come out?
That
he gonna bring out Wayne.
To do what? Bitch, don't kill my vibe? Man, are y'all serious? Like, come on, man. I don't want to hear Blacker the Berry, the sweeter.
Hey, all right.
I don't want to hear this shit.
Let me ask you this. How big of a moment would it be at the Super Bowl if he bring out Drake?
Eh,
Mm.
I mean, yeah, that would be
Tell me,
big.
you tell me that wouldn't be one of the most legendary, most memorable shits to ever happen in the hip hop. And then then they're gonna be, oh, Jay-Z's a genius. Jay-Z, oh God, he knew that this was gonna happen from day one. That's how the whole tone is gonna change.
Listen, if that
And I ain't
happened,
saying the
yes,
Kendrick
it
would do
would
that, nor do I
change.
think he should.
That
But so
that
that's
it,
what I'm saying. Like this is very nearsighted to people to judge this pick right now. Like
it's
it's
not gonna
Jay. It
happen.
always plays out.
That's not
It
gonna
always
happen, bro.
works for him.
Bro,
We
listen,
seen Jay-Z do this shit for 30 fucking years.
listen.
He Everybody else is playing checkers and he's playing chess right now.
I
I'm
agree.
calling it now. He bringing Drake out.
Though there is
Fucking
a
Kendrick bringing Drake out.
0% chance that Drake is coming out. Dude.
I'm calling
Zero.
it right now. I'm calling the shot. Drake come out. When soon as that come on, this what is it? Swimming pools?
You talking about the song they got together?
Is that the song they got together? Yeah,
Nah,
what's the song they got
the
together?
Janet Jackson flip. Uh, I forgot In the Thunder and
Oh yeah,
Rain.
yeah, yeah.
Damn, I just forgot the name of it that quick. Oh, Poetic
Yeah,
Justice.
Poetic Justice. And what happens? What happens when DJ Khaled, J. Cole, and Drake come out for that song that they all got together on that Khaled album?
What song is that? Now we playing Khaled album
Well, Drake
shit?
ain't on there, is he?
Bro, what are we
Yeah,
talking
absolutely.
about, dude?
Khaled not big enough to be at the Super Bowl.
What is this? The pop out part two?
See,
What
you
are you
just talking.
talking about, dude?
You just talking crazy. You sound like a Drake stan right now. You're just hating. Y'all are hating that this is Kendrick Lamar and this nigga has officially stepped on Drake's grave and he got this Super Bowl bid off the back of murdering your mans out here. That's what this reaction is.
What are we talking about? This is first of all, this screams
Coexistence.
Political. It
does
screams
not.
it.
There's nothing political. Why do Jay-Z need to play political games with this?
Because he's the GOAT and he got another
position, bro.
Listen, he got a nigga.
He has the position.
Jay is petty.
Who's the nigga on his heels?
Oh, we know.
The nigga that just got obliterated off the face of the earth over this past summer with a dance song that's this song that everybody's playing? That's the nigga that's on Jay-Z heels?
Listen, they gotta they gotta conspire to squash him. I understand it. And we're not gonna act like Jay not petty. Jay didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl. So we're not gonna act like
the same nigga that said, "Oh, Wayne, you hurting? You need 14 million to pay your taxes off. I got you. You ain't got to worry about paying me back." He's the same nigga that's hating on Lil Wayne and don't want him to perform at the Super Bowl.
I think he hating on Drake. I don't think he's hating on Wayne. I think he's hating on Drake.
I do not see it. What do you think about the backlash that Jay-Z has been getting from people like Nicki Minaj and Birdman?
They standing for their for Wayne. They're supposed to do that. That's their man. They come on. That's Wayne biggest supporters. And Wayne, what makes this even more egregious is Wayne actually follows sports. Does Kendrick Lamar know how many points is a touchdown, bro? Does he even know?
The fuck do that got to do with it, nigga? Stop it.
Hey, come on, nigga. Bro. This is a layup, bro.
Do Usher follow sports, nigga? Have you ever seen Usher talk about sports? That nigga was just skating around on stage at the Super Bowl. Stop it, bro. Get out of here.
Kendrick don't even know how much he don't know how much of safety is worth, bro. I promise you, he don't know.
Yeah, I could see that. But I would challenge you to say that niggas like Hoop Maroon 5, I'm sure they don't even know what the NFL is.
They shouldn't have got
it. I may be speaking out of turn, but you think J-Lo and fucking what was the other day? What was J-Lo and who?
Shakira.
Who was the chick that came out there with Shakira? Come on, bro.
They can do anything.
J-Lo ever watched an NFL?
J-Lo can do anything she wants.
What are we talking about, man? I think the whole hate is unjust, man. And I think he's gonna prove that he was 2 steps ahead of everybody. And we're gonna get to hear about it in the verse. Whenever that verse comes out, this is gonna motivate him to rap on somebody, do a feature shit. But I do think when this show comes out and it's played, people are gonna be overwhelmingly pleased with it. Even you Drake stands.
No, but Kendrick puts on a good show, so there's no question about whether he can do a show or not.
What are we talking about? If I'm booking the Super Bowl, AB, all right, put your business hat on. You're booking the Super Bowl, and you want somebody that's going to put on a good show. You're going to Lil Wayne over Kendrick.
Yeah, in this instance, yeah.
Oh, nigga, I'll answer that for you. No, you're not.
Yeah,
I know. You're not looking to lose money. I know you that much about you, and I know that that's not going to happen.
They're not gonna lose money, but based on the halftime show. What is Gatorade gonna pull out in the middle of the goddamn halftime show? What are you talking about? The money check is
They
already
might.
cleared,
They
dude.
might. Once they see this nigga stumbling around up here and forgetting the words to his fucking song, they might. I ain't giving you this ain't what we paid for, nigga. We ain't paying y'all, nigga. Get that
Picture
shit like they'll do like Birdman do. Get that shit in court, nigga.
picture
I
Kendrick
seen a funny
Lamar.
ass meme that said Birdman. I seen a funny ass meme that said Birdman started all of this shit, including Drake this when he didn't pay the Neptunes.
That was funny.
None of this would have happened if he had paid the Neptunes.
That shit was funny. That was funny as hell.
That is hilarious.
Some bullshit.
What were you about to say?
Picture Kendrick Lamar trying to catch a football. Just picture that. And you want this nigga at the halftime show representing for the whole fucking world. LA is the following year, dude. Man, they blew it.
Picture,
It's cool. No, I ain't
picture
gonna
any
say,
one
hold
of
on,
these.
time out. I'm not gonna say they blew it because
Picture Big
again,
Sean catching the football.
well, listen, I'm excited that there's a hip hop act in the halftime show. I'm super. That's a W, like I said before. But I do feel like there was a step that was missed. But I will say that people I don't like people now saying that Kendrick can do a full set. He doesn't make that type of music. And I need everybody to understand and acknowledge that. He doesn't make stadium music. That's not the type of shit
But
that he does.
AB, he's that.
If they had to get Snoop, Dre, Eminem, and 50 to share a fucking stage, you can't tell me that Kendrick can do one by himself and them niggas had to share a stage. That doesn't make sense. That's niggas caping and
He's that
glazing.
type. But Kendrick is that type of performer. Let's not knock him there. You could be right, though I don't agree with you that he may not have that much material to do it. But if you're asking me, can Kendrick Lamar perform for 13 minutes in front of 300 million people and make that shit entertainable? Yes. The resounding answer to that is yes. He will be able to put together a set that people will enjoy and they won't feel slighted or robbed. He'll showcase himself and bring people out that he can showcase. Like you can do like Schoolboy Q got hits, TD fucking J-Rock got hits. He's a Grammy nominated artist. You can bring these people out. These are large songs that can be performed at the Super Bowl. Like, what are we talking about?
Listen, this nigga
J-Rock can't come out and do win at the Super Bowl.
No, nigga. What the fuck?
You just hate. You just hate. Now, I'm not sure what you're expecting from a Super Bowl performance because we've seen everybody else come out with acts and people that help them out. And you're saying that Kendrick Lamar doesn't have the clout to put together a 13-minute show. Fuck the set list. You're focused on the set list and you're trying to tell me that he doesn't have the songs. No. That's fine. I may agree with you there, but he does have the connections and he does have the stage presence to put a 13-minute show on. Like, that's laughable for you to think that that couldn't happen. 13 minutes, bro? No, we're not talking about a 30-minute set.
Listen, it's laughable that y'all think Wayne can't do a 13-minute set. Y'all niggas acting like we talking about headlining Coachella.
Wayne damn near falling over. I've seen Wayne damn near falling over at Live nightclub doing a 7-minute set. So no, I could be skeptical that he could do 13 minutes. Forgive me that the 45-year-old rapper that's been abusing drugs his whole fucking life, if I think that the nigga can't do 13 minutes in front of 400 million people, I'm sorry.
This is nuts. Shit. I stand with Birdman on Miss Gladys, nigga. Y'all gonna pay for that hating ass shit. Jay was hating, bro. He was hating.
All I know is where Birdman Miss Gladys was when the 14 million was owed to the IRS.
He was hating. Miss
Gladys wasn't nowhere then. Jay-Z was the savior, nigga. That's who was around.
Gladys, nigga.
Get out of here, bro. Y'all let us know what y'all think, man. Is Lil Wayne or should Lil Wayne be the headliner? Is Kendrick Lamar the right or the wrong choice? And what you think about Hove making this decision? Speaking of people who've beefed with Hove before, like you are hating and Birdman and Nicki Minaj and all the other people, LL Cool J, he dropped a brand new album, AB, and it was called, damn, I just had it, but I don't right now. The Force. You listened to The Force, AB. Was it as good as you expected?
Yeah, we had relatively high expectations for The Force, but coming off the song with Rick Ross and Fat Joe, LL Cool J was ripping it. The beat was fire. The whole album is produced by Q-Tip, I believe, and so I was looking forward to it more than I would have any other of the last 8 LL Cool J albums. I'm cool on Headsprung and all that shit from back in the day.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm cool on that. With that being said, I listened to it, and I actually did like it, and what I was surprised by was LL was rapping his ass off on here. I'm not that big of a Q-Tip production fan. That's just a personal taste. But listening to it, I was like, oh, okay, I could appreciate it. And I'm glad that it's here. I'm glad that there's a space, which is why I think rap is in a better space than a lot of people give it credit for, where a 50-year-old LL can come out with something age appropriate and he not sound washed. He not sound outdated. It still was him. He's not on there trying to sound young. He's not rapping like the Migos. He's not doing any he's not singing with auto tune. He's doing LL. He's telling stories, and he has several lines on there where I found myself like, damn, or rewinding it back. I was like, man, look at LL. I was like, okay, I don't know, to be honest. I don't know the next time I'll revisit it, but I did appreciate. I spun it like once or twice, and I did appreciate it. And I was pleasantly surprised at the level of skill that LL still has at his big age and as all that he's accomplished. So I respect it. So I will say it was as good as I expected, although I don't see myself revisiting it too often. But if I'm a fan of this genre, I'm sure that there's a large number of people, relatively speaking. Again, I'm not saying it's going to go 300,000 first week. I'm saying there's a community that wanted to hear something like this produced by Q-Tip. They should be very satisfied by this. And again, I think hip hop is in a good space due to this coming out and it being quality and a decent number of people checking for it. We're talking about it here. We didn't talk about no other LL shit when it came out.
No, he ain't came out in a while though, right? What was the last album that he
Ooh, that's
dropped?
a good
You know?
question. It might have been before us. It might have been pre us.
Yeah. This album helped me understand his beef with Jay-Z. This album helped me understand why he still wants to be considered. Like if we talking about best rappers, like nigga, you doing 10 people, you better mention my fucking name.
Yeah.
Because I, like you, was listening to this, though it may not be something that I'm checking for specifically, listening to it, you be like, damn, that nigga can rap.
Yeah, for sure.
And please forgive us, we weren't of age when his prime shit was coming out. Like that was like right before our era. Yeah, you can go back and listen to it, but I mean, who wants to do that? Um, I would say like I'm listening to this just like you when you're hearing it, you like, damn, that nigga spitting.
Yeah.
And you forget, nigga, this is LL Cool J. This is the nigga, this is one of the first rap superstars. And it makes sense to me now how he's been arrogant over all these years because he knows, nigga, I ain't lost my pen game. I can still do this. Y'all niggas talk about Nas and Jay-Z and Rakim and all of these people. And then you go to the new generation and you talk J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar and you forget to mention my fucking name, and I'm pissed off about it as he should be because he's right there with them. Like this nigga can fucking rap. Newsflash, of course. I mean, niggas they be listening to us and like, y'all late or whatever it may be, the New York guys. But I was impressed. I was thoroughly impressed by the bars that he still had and the interest that he still had me locked in on listening to this album. Goes into the lane of, like you said, the contemporary rap off the back of Common just coming out, much favorite Killer Mike album that we heard, and all the other ones that we call contemporary rap. This is right there with it. Like he is like it's cream of the crop. Shout out to LL.
I agree. And of course, let's be clear. We understand LL's place in the game. He's one of the GOATs. There's no debating that. But since we weren't outside when he really hit the scene, like when you talk to somebody a little older than us, they'll tell you, like, nah, that nigga was a shit. Like, period. But again,
Mm-hmm.
that's somebody a little older than us that was outside when he was really that dude. We understand. As a matter of fact, he coined the term GOAT. Actually, it came
Yeah.
from
He did
LL.
have an album called Go, right?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
we get it. Don't nobody. I don't want nobody to hear this and get it confused. Like we just discovered LL on Friday. No, we understand. But times and sounds and sonics of music have changed since he was popping. Niggas don't rap like this no more. Like it's not that shit no more. And so you're wondering,
Mm-hmm.
can he still get it done without sounding dated or washed? The answer is yes. And he was spitting on here. I
Yeah.
was actually surprised at the storytelling. That's the part that I didn't know personally.
And like you said, one of the best things, the most impressive about it was I'm not doing the Migos flow. I'm not featuring Future on the album. I'm not going to get the hook from 5 I'm not
Yeah.
doing none of that. I'm gonna do LL Cool J. I know I'm cold. You can hear it in these fucking bars. Like that was the thing that made it most impressive to me. Like I ain't got. It's still like you said. It doesn't sound dated, but it still ain't trying to keep up with the times either.
Agreed.
Perfect mix.
I agree. Shout out to LL,
Except
man.
for going against Sweetie. I don't know what Sweetie was doing.
Yeah, I heard him talk
I
about that.
forget.
I heard
What did he say?
that didn't do nothing for him. He said he just got people that he thought would sound sonically good on the song. He wanted to make the dopest song. He needed a certain type of voice and that fit the song,
If
according to him.
if I'm if I'm LL and I can shoot my shot by featuring Sweetie on my song, I'm gonna do
Oh,
it too though.
now
I ain't
listen,
gonna
that's
hold you.
worth it now. I'm gonna keep it a
Now
buck.
you gonna pull up to the yo? Yeah,
Yeah,
we
that's
can
worth it.
like
It's 2
yeah, midnight
a.m. Yeah,
session.
don't worry about that.
Yeah,
That's the only time I can book the studio.
cool. It's cool. Just me, you, and the engineer. Yeah, just come through. Come through. He finna leave. He already mixed everything down. You just need to lay your vocals. Come on through. You sure? Yes.
Yes.
That that shit
Now.
you be wearing in the videos too. Yeah, yeah, come through. Come through.
Come camera ready.
Yeah, it's gonna make the album. Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna make the album. This might be the lead track.
Oh shit.
You remember doing it well? It might be before your time. Check this out. It's the type of time I'm on. I'm sending her that. I'm sending her that. This is the reference track. This doing it and doing it and doing it well. You sure? Yeah, yeah. Listen to this a couple of times before you come. This the bag we gonna be in right here
All night. Oh shit.
all night. Oh, that's funny as hell.
Next up, man.
What
We got some numbers. They are in Big Sean's Better Me Than You. First week sales came out. It was projected to do 23, 24. It came in even less than that. It came in at 22K first week sales. Um, a lot of people were talking about this online, disappointed, flop. We heard all the buzzwords. To you, is it a big deal, little deal, or no deal?
this is no deal at all. This is where Big Sean is now in his career. He is not Kendrick Lamar. He is not J. Cole. He is not Drake. Is he independent or is he still on
He
a
on Def
label?
Jam. He just not on good music.
Then it's kind of I thought he was doing this shit himself, but I mean Def Jam not treating him like a star either. Like there wasn't big promotion for the album. Like it was a very different rollout with the interviews and the self help shit that he was doing. So like this is what I expect from Big Sean. I would have respected it more if it was independent because people most of the time people that are doing these type of numbers with a name like Big Sean is somewhere around 50, 55. That's a good week now. I know it's a lot different from when we came up, but yeah, if I got Def Jam behind me, I would expect to be at 50, 55. But again, the reason that I say it's no deal because like this you were away for 4 years. Like Big Sean could come out next year and do 22, 23, and we would say, okay, he's doing good. Like you're doing a consistent 22, 23,000. Like I'm never, ever expecting him to be at like he's never going to do that again. He has now been relegated to the big crit levels of the game, and that's what big crits type do, 22, 23. Like that's where they are now. If Wale came and dropped a new album tomorrow, I don't know if he has major label support, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did 22, 23. So I don't think this is a major disappointment for Sean unless he thought that his name still carried more weight than it does, which it doesn't, and we see that now. But it carries enough weight for him for him to continue to do this, which is what I expect versus a 4 year hiatus. Now he know where the numbers at. Now he knows how to budget accordingly. Now he knows how to make a profit off an album going 22,000 first week. Now put it out and start rapping. Like that's what we expect from you. So I don't think it's a big deal at all. It just sets the precedent of what we see from Sean moving forward.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Wale. I'm gonna get to him in a second. Listen, Sean has
What
been.
Wale do?
I'm gonna get to it. Sean has been in the public eye since probably like his second or third mixtape. That was 09, 2010. It is 2024. Now we're watching Drake do a 15-year run. We're watching Kendrick be hot for that long. This is not normal. Niggas don't go on 15-year runs, triple digit first weeks. That's not normal. This is in line with what someone does when you've been in the game for 15 years. Like what LeBron doing right now, winning gold medals and still getting 30 and 10 at year 20 something. That's not what niggas that's been in the league that long have done. There are 50 niggas that came into the game when Sean did in '09 and 2010 that have long been gone. Like, I'm talking about long gone. They don't exist. Nobody even thinks about them. So this is where he's supposed to be at. I know nobody wants to hear that. I get it. At one point in time, he was with good music. It was a whole machine. Kanye was the hottest person on earth. 2 Chainz, Sean, Common, John Legend, all that shit. They had a whole movement. Well, that wave is gone. It's a Reynolds rap. It's done. It doesn't exist anymore. You mentioned Wale. His last album came out in 2021. He did 20,000 first week. Again, someone who's been in the game double-digit years doesn't need to do 100,000 anymore. He's Wale. His legacy is already pretty much cemented in where it's going to be at. Big Sean, it's pretty much cemented in where it's going to be at. We felt like this for a couple of years now. We knew he wasn't going to crack the big three. That's okay. Fourth place is not bad when there's 500 niggas that rap, dude. It's okay. So I get it. 22. Big Sean is famous. You know, he's a big name in rap. So you kind of look like, damn, what happened? Like, what, 22? Like, what the... Sure, would 40 sit a little better? Sure, but everything is down. He's been in the game 100 years. This is about right. Big Sean could do a show, and he'll do his little tours, and the shows will still be packed. His fans will still show up. He didn't gain one new fan from this album. He didn't lose none. I think it's just his legacy is where it's at. He's at that point now. Everybody can't be J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick. They just can't be. You got to be realistic. Or Nicki, or anybody, you know what I'm saying? Nicki's 15 years deep and still do numbers. Everybody ain't like that.
Yeah, but he ain't Nicki.
No.
Who was hurt most from Good Music's fall off? 2 Chainz, Pusha T, or Big Sean?
Probably, nah. That's a good question. Because all three of them are hurt by it. But at least Pusha T can fall back on like doing something with the Clips. He still has Pharrell in his back pocket.
Clips, and I got Pharrell.
Yeah.
So he's out.
So not counting him.
Big Sean.
It's between Big Sean and 2 Chainz. That's about equal, bro. If 2 Chainz came out tomorrow, he doing 22,000. Maybe. And I don't mean that as a shot. I'm just being realistic.
Unless he just found one.
Unless he found one.
Like, unless he just found, like, yeah. We ain't heard from 2 Chainz in so long. It hurt my feelings. Golly. What do he do now? Like, all he do is the podcast with his son?
Yeah, in the restaurants. You got Escobar. So go pull up the Escobar, get some wings.
And I ain't even gonna say what I want to say.
But yeah, y'all go to Escobar's. Nigga.
Yeah, y'all go to Escobar's, man. Shout out to him and friend of the show, Michelle.
For sure.
Absolutely. Next, AB, we have Future. He announces a new mixtape Pluto, which got us to thinking. There's a mixtape Mount Rushmore, and I want to know who's on yours.
Mixtape Mount Rushmore, it's gotta be Wayne. It's gotta be 50. It's gotta be Future. That fourth spot is tricky. I don't want to put Gucci on there, but I might have to, even though I don't want to. I don't want to. You don't want to either. Nobody really wants to, but just the prolific output might get him up there. I can't think of the fourth, but the fact remains that Future.
Wait, that was 4. That was 4.
Yeah, that's the 4. No, I'm saying
4. You said
I'm wavering. I don't know about Gucci like that, but those 3, Wayne, 50, and Future, I think are pretty solid. But the bottom line, new Future mixtape, people still get excited about that. And there's a reason. It's because of the run that he went on in those early 2010s, which was insane. Even some of the ones that were before his blow up, like Astronaut Status or the first Dirty Sprite, those slapped. So people talk about the Monster and the Beast Mode and all that. Everybody knows all those, but he had a couple before those that went crazy, that set the stage for those other ones. So, yeah, I guess that's my 4, unless I think of somebody else while you talking, but that's my 4. Who's your 4?
I'm going to give you the correct 4 for the people that listen to this show. Okay. I'm saying, please, Spike Lou, save this segment right now and give us the right 4.
Yes, give us the right.
All right. Wayne is right. Wayne is correct. You're absolutely right there. Yes, Gucci is on it, undeniably. Like, even though I didn't listen to all the mixtapes, like, Gucci, you can't knock what he did in the mixtape field.
Okay.
I'll leave that 50 Cent shit to you, New York niggas. You claim you from Queens, fine.
I
You can
am.
have it. Jeezy is the next nigga on this list.
Okay.
Jeezy is the nigga that took mixtape. He took mixtape fame to mainstream stardom, and that was amazing to see what he did. So we got Wayne, we got Gucci, we got Jeezy. Number four, undoubtedly, the only reason this nigga is still relevant today is because of his mixtape run. There isn't even a album that you could name versus his mixtapes. And I know, AB, you weren't outside. It's fine. I'll excuse you from this. The obvious answer to this, and niggas is saying this in the radio to me. They're saying this as they're listening right now into their headphones or to their phone or iPad or wherever you listening, is Lil Boosie. What are we talking about? Lil Boosie is the one of the greatest
Oh,
mixtape rappers of our time. I don't even know how any nigga would deny it unless you were from fucking Staten Island or fucking Long Island or one of those islands in New York. That's the only way you're denying this. But if you anywhere in the South, if you anywhere from Arkansas to fucking Virginia, anywhere in between, the nigga with the coldest mixtape run probably in the history of mixtapes is Lil Boosie. Like it ain't even a question. Lil Boosie don't even got an album that will record him that would help him be as famous as he is right now if it wasn't for his mixtape run. You talking about one of the best niggas to ever do this mixtape shit, and that's Lil Boosie. So we got Future, we got Wayne, Jeezy, Gucci, Boosie. That's it. That's the list.
first of all, not having Future on there is disgusting. One, two,
Future got,
not.
but here's why. I can give you reason why I don't have Future,
Uh,
because he has album like I feel like all the people that I put their mixtapes made them who they were. I still think that Future, even though he has banging mixtapes, his albums made him who he was.
oh no,
Like
no,
niggas listening to the
no,
facts. What are we
no,
talking about?
no. I don't believe that, bro. You
Maybe I
don't
just
believe
wasn't
that.
outside. I'm not a big astronaut status probably was the 56 nights, monster. I get all of those were
Beast
banging,
Mode.
but bro,
His biggest songs come
yeah,
off mixtapes, bro. Tony Montana.
Boosie Run is bigger than Boosie Run, I'm telling you, is bigger than that. If you was outside when Boosie was putting mixtapes out, there is no question. He might be number one on this list. Well,
What's his
he
biggest
two.
mixtape?
Wayne is number one.
What's Boosie best mixtape?
Shit, man. Mm. It's it, that's hard to say, man.
Is it?
Yeah,
You
it's hard
sure?
to say.
No, I don't believe that. You don't know the
It
name of
probably
that
was the
shit.
streets is mine.
Oh, hell.
You know what I mean? Because I was outside when niggas was burning CDs and being like, this is the new Boosie, and they don't write a name on it. You just know this is the Boosie CD that I burned this to, and it didn't even have to have a name to it. I can't think of it. I think the name of his streets is mine, but I don't quote me on that. They had Distant Lover and all that good shit on there, but y'all in the comments, y'all let me know if you was outside when Boosie was putting mixtapes out. Y'all let me know if
Don't try
I'm
to
not
put it
right
on
on
whether
this.
niggas was outside or not. Don't try to do that.
Hey, it matters. That matters.
Man, listen. Yeah, Streets is mine. '06 DJ Drama.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, right around the streets
Yeah,
is mine.
don't nobody know that shit. Look,
Yeah, you don't know that. You
50.
don't know.
I have 50 because he reinvented the modern. He created the modern mixtape, which Wayne took.
Fuck that. I ain't
He
giving.
50
I ain't
walked
giving New York
and
niggas no props.
50 walked so Wayne could run with it, and then Gucci just I don't know. He
Mm.
got in a fucking Hellcat and, and took it to the next level, and basically was giving out free albums. Essentially, that's what it turned into. Couple of sleepers though. I will say they're not going to make the Mount Rushmore, but I think they have really strong mixtape catalogs. Big Crit has a strong mixtape catalog.
It's a good one.
He's got really dope ass mixtapes.
Yeah.
A couple niggas got more than one fight. Like Fab got a nice mixtape run. Depends on. Well, I guess those soul tapes weren't technically mixtape.
Soul tapes.
Were
They
they?
was.
Oh
And
yeah,
what's the
because they
one when he
just now
digging the
came on streaming
graves?
sites. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's
Yeah.
true.
What's the
Fab.
one he was digging the graves?
Yeah. There's no competition. He got three of those.
Yeah, those. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
What
true.
about Cole?
Fab. You don't sleep on Fab. Fab Mike can.
No, Fab is I thought of him. I
Okay,
would have had him before 50. Like
that's fair.
I didn't get on 50. I'll be very transparent about this. I remember like I didn't listen to 50 until Get Rich or Die Trying came out. I
Yeah.
remember shout out to Lil Larry. He brought that Get Rich or Die Trying to me. I was like, bro, this It ain't. This ain't it. But I had to like hear it in the club, and niggas play it back to back 6 times. I'm like, okay, let me go listen to this again. Then I got into Wangster, but I never really was a big mixtape fan as far as 50. I would put Future, excuse me, I would put who you just said, Fab,
Fab.
and Cam or Dipset, whichever one you want to do it. Like Dipset or Cam, I would put before 50. But that's just personal preference. I
Yeah,
get where you say 50 because I understand the lane that he carved in his field, but for me, personal preference would be Fab or Dipset.
that's fair. Y'all let us know, man, who's on the mixtape Mount Rushmore. Hey, next up, speaking of Cam, Dipset, his new season of It Is What It Is came out. He had very strong opinions about Kendrick performing at the Super Bowl. And he also had strong opinions about Denzel doing action movies at the age of 70. He said, I don't want to see Denzel doing Equalizer, fight niggas and beat niggas up. And he said, that looks goofy. We're doing this because it's
Mm.
entertaining and we fuck with movies. Was Cam hating on Denzel?
Yeah, this ain't. You can't say this. You can't say this on your sports show, talking to your homeboy that you've been on your whole life. Like this is a conversation that's in the green room. This is a conversation to be had amongst friends, but this is not where you get on. I think it is what it is what it's called. This is not like this is not making the block in my show that goes out to people because Denzel's a legend, bro. Like, yeah, old niggas do action movies and it don't look right. Okay, cool, but Denzel still holds it down. I'm never saying on a public platform that like he ain't that nigga. There's nothing that you could get me to say bad about him. But that's Cam Brando. That's what they do over there. Like you said, he talked bad about Jay-Z. He he talked bad about other people recently as far as just, being older or washed up or whatever it may be. That's funny, Harlem shit. I get it. I wouldn't do that at all. I think it's hating. I don't think it's in good taste. Denzel ain't done nothing but the best for us as far as being a black thespian in that community. Like he's always put his best foot forward. So nah, like I wouldn't do that, especially on a sports show. Like you can hate on Jay-Z with the Super Bowl shit because it's sports adjacent. Like we get it, but like going into the bag and being like, I don't need to see Denzel doing action. Like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? He may feel the same way, but he didn't say it about fucking Robert De Niro or Al Pacino, and them niggas still do wild ass movies at plus 70. So nah, we're not doing that.
Yeah, I'll say this. He was definitely hating, or he was misinformed. He hasn't watched Equalizer. He's referring to Equalizer 3. Um,
Hmm.
but Denzel is not hand-to-hand combating on the Equalizer 3. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not
Yeah, it's like it ain't
it's
outrageous.
he's not doing that. It's very like Call of Duty. He's sniping niggas. He's sneaking up on niggas. Like he's doing, and then plus him being at the age that he's at, people underestimate him. That's kind of part of the whole thing with the Equalizer. They look at him and go, "Fuck out of here." But he has a particular set of skills, and at the end of the day, it's a movie. Also, let's suspend some belief. It's some Hollywood shit to it, which is fair. If you can watch niggas transform into fucking cars and robots and shit, then you can watch Denzel hit a nigga in a neck and that be the pressure spot, nigga, to fucking fold a nigga. Like it's not that deep, dude. He not John Wick. He not taking niggas hand to hand. He not beating up the Rock. Like relax. He was hating. He was trying to get clicks and it worked. We fell for it. A lot of other people are falling for it. It was entertaining because Cam has a good way of making noise and bringing attention to himself. But he got to relax on the Denzel slander, though. We ain't standing for that.
How would you think Liam Neeson is?
72?
Yes, you must have looked that up before. That's
No, I
exactly how
didn't.
old he is.
That was a wild guess.
That's funny as hell. Because that's exactly how old he is, and no one says anything about that.
Now,
How would you
people, now
think
to be
Tom
fair, they
Cruise is?
do. Yeah, they do. People do say that.
Oh,
I'm gonna
they
be
do? I
honest.
ain't know. I wasn't familiar. I
They
ain't never heard
do
nobody say that about Liam Neeson.
and the
Well,
reason
he's
they say
72
that
years old.
the reason they say that is because he's been kind of typecast into that ever since Taken. That's the only type of
Yeah.
movies he do now. People
That's the
been
reason
wearing
I
him
looked him up specifically.
right. They've been wearing
Okay.
him out for
How
that.
would you think Tom Cruise is?
Tom Cruise about maybe 58.
62. 62.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
And then nigga be hanging off
like,
planes, doing his own stunts and
I just,
everything.
come on. Like, well, yeah, like, what are we talking about, bro? Like, this is
Yeah.
what they do. So, yeah, this was hating and it was disgusting.
Damn, he's
I,
62? God
I
damn.
would love to see. Yes, that's crazy. It
That's
make you feel old as hell. Um, what I, what I would say to this as a fan of what Cam and Mace do up there, I would love to see them make more headlines about their sports opinions versus the shit that they've been making headlines about. I
Mm,
challenged them. I challenged them on that. Y'all niggas talking about Denzel and how he shouldn't be doing like nigga, y'all are doing a sports show. And it niggas make headlines every day with sports takes. And I ain't seen a sports take yet that went viral.
that's
It's
true.
always the other shit. So that's what I would say to them if I were Denzel. Like nigga, I'm not an athlete. If I was Denzel, I tell him, bro, I don't do sports. Why y'all niggas even speaking on me?
That's true.
So
That is true. What you got next?
all right, man. Next, we have a brand new single that dropped. Your man's Rihanna's wife, otherwise known
Damn,
as ASAP's Rocky. Excuse me, husband.
Jesus.
Rihanna's husband, excuse me. ASAP Rocky dropped a brand new single. It was featuring J. Cole. My question to you, after you heard this verse, do you think that J. Cole has redeemed himself since bowing out of the beef, AB?
Two things jumped out to me when I listened to this. It's called Ruby Rosary, if you haven't heard it. One is that ASAP Rocky is some slaw. That's first and foremost. That jumped out to me immediately because he had the first verse. He wasn't talking about a goddamn thing. Allegedly, he dissed Drake, and some of the bars was weak as fuck. I was like, bro, this. I've never gotten into ASAP
Oh,
Rocky. I've never gotten into him. Secondly, J. Cole has not forgotten how to rap. He slid on this motherfucker like he was. I ain't gonna lie, he was ripping this shit. And I think this is a smart. Well, I ain't gonna say if it's a smart or dumb move, but I think it's a good look for him to kind of try to get a little bit of the hype machine back on his side for the fall off. At the top of the year, it was huge. He had the mixtape come out. He had been killing features. We know he's been on the feature run for the last couple of years. He had killed that Yachty joint last year. He was on some Gucci shit. Of course, we know what he did with Benny. He was cooking with hot grease. He flipped the cam shit. He had the little mini documentary coming out. We like, ooh, is this the album? Is this a mixtape? He had a nice rollout coming for the fall off, and we were looking forward to it. He made the mistake of putting out a weak ass Kendrick Lamar diss song and then backing out of the diss, and then he doubled down and put out some bullshit with Cash Cobain, the sticky, grippy, whatever the fuck that was called. So he's been low ever since then. Smart move by him. Thankfully for us rap fans, he hasn't forgotten how to rap. He killed this. I listened to his verse a couple of times. I'm probably gonna run it back after we record because I don't forgot what he said and I really want to hear it again. That nigga cold. And this reminded me, oh yeah, he is that nice. I still need to hear what the fall off is talking about. I do think the tide has turned in terms of where the perception of him is. They saw how the beef went and how ugly it got. And people know deep down J. Cole not a mud-slinging ass nigga. Like, he not really with all of that shit. And so the beef kind of got a little chatty patty-ish. And so we kind of was like, oh, okay, we see why you got out of this. I think that's behind us. He keep putting verses out like this, get that rollout back running for that album, niggas will tap in.
I agree with some of the stuff that you said that the rollout that he had going up until he bowed out of the beef was good. You're right. Um, People were interested in the fall off. Then he put the verses out post bowing out of the battle. Well, excuse me, let me go back. The biggest mistake to me was doing first person shooter and not having all the information as to what Kendrick and Drake had going on before stepping on that song, before going to do that song. And now I even got to be in the position where I need to bow out of a beef. Like there was some shit brewing, as we heard from Kendrick and Drake, as to where they wanted him to be on the song. It didn't happen. And then that's kind of where the beef exploded from. Pause. J. Cole not
Mm.
knowing that J. Cole not knowing that put him in the position where he had to bow to his beef and it stepped on everything that he'd done prior to that with the rollout. Now he's getting back into form. You're right. You did forget for a moment that he is one of those niggas and can rap his ass off, but it still ain't there yet for me. It still ain't like it still ain't when I listen to first person shooter or I listen to him on Johnny P's Caddy and that feeling that I used to think before knowing what happens with the beat thing and him bowing out happens. I'm like, God damn, Cole might be number one. Now I listen to him and be like, yeah, that nigga can rap his ass off. But it's still two niggas out here that would take his head off at any given moment, and they've proven it. And now you got to rap from the third place perspective. I don't know if he's adjusted to that yet. You right, this verse is dope, but he's still trying to rap from a first person or first place perspective, and I don't buy that anymore. He's got to do some more work to put me in the position to say, "Oh, okay, I buy you being like the Johnny P. Caddy flow. I buy you being that nigga still." So it was a good verse. Do I suggest people listen to it? Absolutely, with the exception of ASAP Rocky. If you can take him off the song, then that's fine too, and just have this as a cold verse. But
Yeah.
he still got work to do as far as talking about being redeemed himself when we're talking about J. Cole. Like that fall off gonna have to be amazing. I still feel like that.
Well, whether you're first or third, you're still on the podium. So
That's fine.
you can speak from the I'm still on the podium perspective.
That's
That's
fine.
perfect.
But you used to act like you was first though. You can't have a
Possibly.
bronze medal and be telling me that this is the gold. That's different. It's different from being on the podium and accepting your third place versus saying, "Oh, I ought to be number one and that gold medal was mine." Because I used to listen to Cole and be like, "Ah, nigga, he should be number one and that gold medal was his." Now I listen to him, like you said, it's fine that you're third place, but how impressive is that?
Yeah. Listen, like you said, fast forward past ASAP Rocky's part and just listen to Cole verse. That shit was fire. He needs a solo song. He needs a single. He needs a single, just him, hot song to kind of get back into these features that he's jumping on. One didn't work. This one kind of worked, but the song isn't really fire like that. But it's just niggas just checking it out for him. And it's kind of weird. Is it weird that that he did this on ASAP Rocky? Like I wonder if this is old, considering what Rocky and Drake got going on. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of strange.
Yeah,
It's kind of strange.
especially because he was on that Future album
Your
too.
man. I was gonna say that your man's probably gonna have some heat for him on his next new verse, not the 100 milligram shit or whatever the fuck it was, gigahertz or whatever the fuck y'all new niggas called it that he put out. When he do new verses, Cole is gonna get some smoke, and I want to see how Cole respond to that.
Yeah, that's true. Next up, man, Rollo. Speaking of Boosie, he and Rollo, newly released Rollo. We haven't really talked about that. They've been
Shout
going back
out
and forth
fam doing,
online.
man.
Um, Rollo said that he didn't want to be 40 doing shows like Boosie right now. Was that hating? Was that being shady, or are you kind of feel Rollo like, man, he passed that at this point?
This shady because why you mentioning me? If
Mm,
I'm boosting, I'm sitting at home and I fucked with you before. I've given you free verses. Like when you was up and coming and you trying to make a name for yourself, and I was that nigga in your eyes, and I seen the movement that you had going on. I've extended the olive branch to you. So to specifically mention me when it's a lot of niggas out here rapping at 40 plus, I feel some type of way. Shout out RIP to Rich Homie Quan. Like I feel some type of way about that because why is it Boosie specifically? We just seen Killer Mike win a Grammy at 40 plus for putting out albums. And I'm sure he does shows for that album. Pusha T is 40 plus. We always talk about we just talked about LL Cool J, who probably 50 plus. So if you see all of this and you see how the tide is turning in hip hop, and you mention me, specifically and say, "Oh well, I don't want to be doing what Boosie doing." That's crazy because what Boosie is doing is making a living. I can go out each weekend and make 75, 80,000, bro. Like you're not even, and respectfully, Rollo, like cool dude, you're not even good at rap. Your dream should be to be still rapping at 40 and niggas booking you for shows and you having to come go to that. Otherwise, God forbid, you be back in jail for doing whatever it was they suspected you of and locked you up for. Like, what are we talking about here? So yeah, it definitely sounds like hating if I'm boosting, I'm sitting and I'm minding my business, and a nigga that I helped out, I put in position to win, even if you needed me or not. Like that's like he may have made it regardless. He had enough money to make it regardless. I understand that. But if I'm a nigga like Boosie who took time out to show love to a nigga who I thought was a street nigga and who represented the right things that I believed in, and now you coming out saying you don't want to be me when you're my age, that's insane to me. We just talked about Boosie building a whole fucking compound on his land. That come from rapping at 40 plus, bro. What else is he supposed to do? If he come out and say, you know what, I'd rather not be an artist at 40, I'd rather be a CEO and have artists and be planning things like that's fine to say, bro. But don't put my name in it. I don't got shit to do with the aspirations or the decline that you assume that happens at 40 plus. Like that's on you. And I think Boosie made a smart move. Was like, nigga, you'd be blessed if niggas was listening to you at 40 because you can't rap. And that ain't me hating on him. That's just like we listening to the music, bro. No, nigga, you're not gonna be popping at 40. So like this was hating. He didn't have to go out of his way to mention Boosie name, man. And I respect Boosie's response. I don't like the back and forth though. I don't think it had to
No.
go that far. I think Rollo once he if I'm Rollo or someone in his camp, if I'm an OG advisor him, I'm like, look, bro, he took offense to that. You didn't have to use his name. You can gracefully bow out. You ain't got to call him. You ain't got to apologize. It ain't got to be no shit like that. But you ain't got to go back and forth with the nigga either because you did disrespect him in the beginning. Like you disrespected him by putting his name in it. So I think this is a bad move by Rollo, man. Like you don't want to create enemies like this on your rehab tour.
Listen, Rollo would go on to say that this apparently stems from something Boosie said on the Breakfast Club. I think they said he tried to call him like a rat or something of that nature. I missed that, but then again, I don't watch Boosie on the Breakfast Club, so that's not surprising. The whole "you still rapping at 40" thing has long been played out. I remember the Game mentioned that on that blah blah blah, and when he said you 38 and still rapping, and all that. Game just announced documentary 3 and he's 44. So that whole like you can't get money because that's what it's all tied to. Man, at 40, I can't sell no records, I can't get no money. Those days are long gone. You just mentioned Boosie building an entire neighborhood in his backyard, and he's not even musically relevant with all due respect currently in 2024 off nothing modern. Let me say that. So if that can happen, if anything, you need to be inspired. Rollo you could come out with a mixtape or two and go get you some
Facts.
bags. Like
Facts.
honestly, so I don't know. That was kind of weird, but I don't know what they got going on. But it does apparently stem, or I don't know if it stems, but Rollo felt some type of way, some things that Boosie said on Breakfast Club. So there may be more to it than
And,
just I'm calling you 40.
and say that. You look a lot smarter as a person when you say, I don't like what he said about me on Breakfast Club versus saying you shouldn't be rapping when you're 40. That's insane.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Like most of your favorite rappers are pushing 40.
Basically, most of the biggest
So that's
rappers are
crazy.
pushing 40.
Yeah, like what are we talking about, bro? The niggas that we come on here, the niggas that we get on here and we talk about every week are damn near 40 years old. I don't know how Kendrick gotta be like 34, 35. Drake gotta
34.
be like 36, 30. Kendrick not that old? Well, he older than that.
He older than that.
Drake, Jake,
He's
so even
37.
better to my point. Drake, yeah, like what are we talking about? The biggest rappers in the world are damn near 40, bro. You think
Yeah.
Kendrick gonna retire in 3 years? So yeah, this was unegregious hating by Rollo. This is egregious. Come on, bro.
Rollo with the dog food.
Come on, Rollo. Come on, fam goon.
Bam goon.
What you doing, fam goon? All right. Before we get into the wins and the losses, the next one, AB, our man, friend of the show. I'm gonna stand beside him. I'm gonna
Okay.
stand. It's getting hard, but I'm gonna stand beside him. Dame Dash got on IG and he challenged 50 to a mogul battle after 50 brought his name up in a $1 million worth of game interview with Wallow and Gilly.
Mhm.
What do you think about this whole exchange, the things that have been going on with Dame, 50's response, and the whole mogul battle?
Dame is, of course, 50 was calling Dame broke and things of that nature. And then Dame came back and said, he flexed his child support payments, which are supposed to prove that he's not broke. Apparently, I don't know. Whatever. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't get that. But the mogul battle is a cool thing to say. Dame Dash, he had a show on BET back in the day called The Ultimate Hustler. So this has been his brand for a very long time. He has been very consistent in saying, I take my money that I make and I put it back into my assets, into my content, into my businesses to try to grow those and flip. That's all I do all day long. He has said this for years now. This is nothing new. And he has the America New Network, which he promoted 100 times during this rant, as he should, because he's got eyes watching him. And he said, let's challenge you to a mogul battle. Like, let's go network for network. That's a flex to say. I get that. But what Dame is trying to do is put himself on the same level as where 50 is. And we know 50, when it comes to this TV shit, is the biggest rapper on this TV production shit, period, hands down. He's got his own network, but it's not him doing it by himself and putting money in. He's got Lionsgate putting the money in for him. Which, if Dame was keeping it a buck, if we gave him truth serum, he would try to do the same thing. Because even in his rant, the funniest shit, we saw the teeth falling out and all of that, and you know, I'm not gonna lie, that shit was funny. But the fact that he said it, the fact that his teeth fell out after he said, "Let's see if you know if my shit is real or not," referring to the content with the dentures falling out was crazy. Now, from what I've been told by old people, from what I've been told, that if you have money, you don't get dentures, you just get a new set of teeth.
Implants.
Yeah. You get implants. So,
but to be fair, he did say that he had implants. He said
okay.
it's just, he has to go to the doctor to get them. Yeah,
that's fair. Maybe so. But it was ironic that he's doing all of this. Dame is being humbled. If this whole situation with the teeth, with the shit being auctioned off, if none of this humbles him, then he just gone. Then he just too far gone. Nothing will, and he'll always be kind of where he's at. I don't like the fact that people are looking at him as a joke now. He's becoming more of like a punchline. I hate that because I'm a fan. But I'd have to keep it 1,000 with myself and with everybody else and say he put a lot of this on himself.
Yeah, I mean, it always comes back to bite you in the ass, I believe. Like the people that the asshole that Dame we seen on backstage and the things that we seen him or have seen him do on podcasts with Combat Jack, rest in peace. Like all of this is coming back now because, like you said, you have these things that happen with the teeth falling out, and people are looking at you as a joke when you've been such a stand-up serious guy for all of these years. If I'm 50 Cent, no, nigga, I'm not having a mogul battle with you, nigga. You barely getting your shit off. I don't even know where to find your stuff. And this is no hating because people know that listen to this show. I love Dame Dash. This is the motivation for why I started doing even podcasting and was even interested in this was me seeing Dame Dash on backstage, wondering why people had Def Jam jackets versus Rockefeller jackets. That's a vivid stamp memory in my brain. But if I'm 50 Cent, I'm like, bro, what are we talking about? The last thing or the only thing that you may have done good in media was paid in full, and you can't even capitalize off that. I've given you the blueprint with Power and all of these other shows as to where you can make a paid in full series and make that shit pop, but you can't even do like niggas not even fucking with you on that respect. So no, I'm not doing a mogul battle. It sounds cool. It's 100% right in what you said, AB. I see my name is trending. $1 million worth of game is a popular podcast. 50 Cent is a popular person. So I'm going to capitalize off this and create this challenge and hope people continue to check for what I'm doing. But it just doesn't work. Like it hasn't been working for a long time. And that's unfortunate to say because we seen Dame when he was great. We seen that. Me and you are fortunate enough to see that, but unfortunately, the kids of now generation, the social media people that he's posting for and trying to please, they've never seen that. They've only seen the bad times. They've only heard the broke rumors. They see Rockefeller, his third of it being up for auction. So no one is going to take you serious, and that's including 50 Cent. So was it a good move to respond to this and try to do the mogul battle? Of course it was. But if I'm 50, like, no, bro, I don't care. There's nothing that you can say to me other than, hey, man, help me with a plan to try to get back on my feet for my media company. How do I do with what I have going on, what you have going on with MGM? How would I do that? I'll consult you if I'm 50 Cent. That should be or would be the perfect response other than the laughing, trolling shit, posting him with his teeth falling out if I'm 50. Nigga, I'll show you how to do this. I can put you in the game. I'll be your coach. And I know that hurts you to say because at one point in time, you was looking at a nigga like me and you was trying to help me. I was like, I'll help you, Dane. But that's the only thing that if I'm 50, I get from this.
Yeah, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. I'm gonna tell you the part where the tides turned, and niggas won't admit this. But when he went on the Breakfast Club and he kind of went in on Charlemagne and envying him for having a job, that he divided a lot of he turned a lot of people on, pause, but he turned even more people off. Because he went in on them. He didn't say, I prefer to be a boss. I prefer. No, he clowned them and tried to make them look stupid for having a job that pays them six figures for working 4 hours a day. So I mean,
Yeah.
it
No, that's a good point.
at
That's a
the
really
end of the
good point.
day,
That's
they
that is when the narrative changed on Dame.
that's when it began. Now people started paying more attention to the moves you make, and you haven't had anything stick since then. That is, you're not gonna get sympathy from people because they remember how hard you went on niggas trying to work. I'm telling you,
Yeah, because so many niggas work and can
exactly.
relate to that struggles. Yeah. So yeah, I agree with that, man.
The struggle of
That's
making
100%
six
true.
figures and working 4 hours a day in radio. He
Yeah,
clowned
man.
that.
Who would want that job?
Yeah.
Right? Sign me. Give me a. I'm available tomorrow, nigga. I'm signing up for that.
Hey
Yeah.
man, I know we went a little long on this
Versus,
episode. Go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, versus me auctioning off my life's work to a random motherfucker
To pay a debt.
because I have to pay bills. Yeah, because I gotta pay bills because the court forced me to do it. You're telling me I would rather do that versus have a 9 to 5 that pays me a couple $100,000 a year? Come on, bro.
Not
What we
not not
talking about?
not even a 9 to 5, nigga. A 9 to a
Yeah,
12.
a 9 to 2, a 6 to 1, if that, a 6 to 1 p.m. Yeah, I'm gonna show up every day for this couple $100,000, bro.
Yeah. But
Sheesh.
yeah,
Damn, man.
I hate it. We're gonna have more Dame talk soon though, man. This stuff goes up to auction, and if you follow on deck, we follow the business shit when it comes to this rap stuff. So we're gonna be talking about that for sure. Wins and losses on this slightly extended episode, man. First up, Beanie Siegel out of Philly. Speaking of Rockefeller, he announced his new venture, man. Grab and Roll Food Truck. He's into the food truck business now, man. It's a win or loss for Beans.
I like this. I like seeing this. I like seeing Beans in this space. I enjoy Beans not giving us dirt on what happened with Rockefeller or how he feels about Jay-Z, but talking about a new business and how I've been able to pivot from the opportunity that I was given through Rockefeller, and this is what I'm doing. I love this. This is right there with Bun B and Trill Burgers and the other stuff that you see. I still attest that there needs to be a hip hop green book where you have all the different hip hop oriented things all across the country that you could just hit. Like you would have the marathon store and you would have Trill Burgers and anything else that anybody hip hop is doing in any state listed in a book. You can go visit it. I think that would be fire. That's what I thought about when I seen this. Just like so many dope things coming and stemming from I used to be a rapper, or I still am a rapper, and I'm doing this now that I'd love to go visit throughout the US.
This may be looked at as a downgrade for some people. I respect the hell out of this because you
Mhm.
look up, it's a food truck, and then 2 years from now, like you said, it's Trill Burgers. It's the
It's
hottest
Trill
spot in
Burgers.
Philly. So I'm not mad at this. I'd rather this than a new project, respectfully. Beans has had some health issues, so his voice isn't the same anyway. So he, instead of sitting back and complaining about that or forcing it, he's pivoted to something else. That's what you do if you out here. So I respect it. Shout out to Beans, and I'll fuck with this. I'll pull up to this. He ain't talking about nothing. Like
Facts.
just because he owned it, I'll pull up to that. I'm a fan. I'll pull up and fuck with this if I'm in Philly. Hey, where Beans and shit
Yeah.
at? Like,
Yep.
it's
They
cool.
need they need to make the hip hop green book shit.
Yeah,
It's to where it got all the hip hop different shit like the Eminem restaurant in Detroit, like anything
yeah.
hip hop oriented in any state, you can go pull up to it. That would be fucking fire.
I agree 1,000%. Next up, man, W or L, November 2nd this year in Nolens at the Smoothie King Center, the annual Louisiana show will pop off with an actual Hot Boy reunion with all four members on stage, win or loss.
It's a W. I'm even thinking about going to this. Like
Mm,
I may make that little trip from Atlanta to Louisiana to see this. Hot Boys was very, very instrumental in my upbringing and what I listened to as a kid. It would be fire to see them on stage performing these, especially because the big timers are gonna be there too. Like,
yeah.
yes, sign me up for it. This is a W. Wayne was it was dope to do this, especially after what happened at the Essence Fest and it didn't happen. I like to see this on slate for him doing it at Louisiana Fest. So yes, W.
Yeah, major W, especially because now we get BG, we get Turk. I know they have been going back and forth for a little while. And technically what BG was saying was true. Niggas wouldn't have missed Turk like that. I'm gonna keep it a buck, just because he wasn't as big of a star as the other members. But you want all four people up there, like you want just to make it right. And he out here, he able bodied. We need everybody that can be up there, up there. And Manny will be there, like you said. Hopefully, that's got to mean that Birdman is up there. So, hot boys, big timers, you might be on to something. A nigga might have to pull up to this. This might,
Right.
and special
I
guest.
want
It
it. Does
says
it?
so.
How cold it get in New Orleans in November?
That's a great question. I've never been to Louisiana, so I don't even know.
Me either. I ain't never been to New Orleans, so y'all let us know if y'all listen to the show, man. How cold does it get in New Orleans? Like, is it hoodie weather, or can I come? Like, is it still gonna be tight? I know it's like on the coast there down in the boot, so I wonder how cool it will be. If it's gonna be cold, I ain't going. But if it'll be warm, kind of, I'll go.
Next up, man, another Louisiana artist, NBA YoungBoy, welcomes his 12th child with his ninth baby mama, all while fighting a case. He's facing about 4 years in the case in Utah. Win or loss.
Um, Here's what I'll say, man. If you have money and this is what you want to do and you can afford to take care of these kids, then do it. I got this up to you. I ain't got no beef with him or Nick Cannon. I know they're saying that you're creating broken homes, but if you
Cameron,
with a chick and she
Cam
decides
Newton,
Cam Newton, excuse me, yeah.
both
If
of them,
if
yeah,
if
yeah.
you're with yeah, if you are with the chick and she's decided that I'm cool with being the ninth baby mama, then who am I to tell you that you shouldn't do it if you could, afford to take care of it? I wouldn't necessarily call it a win, but I wouldn't say it's a loss either. It's just like a 27-year-old rich nigga that likes to have sex a lot and having babies and don't know how to use protection. I would recommend as an older nigga, just get a vasectomy, dude. Like, 12 is cool. I got 12. I'm done. Like, going and do the little snip at the doctor. They have stuff that you can do. I'm sure NBA YoungBoy may not be knowledgeable of that, but go ahead and get the vasectomy, bro.
It might be time. It was a dude when I visited the prison, said he had 29 kids
Yes.
by
See, I
21
feel differently
games.
about that. I feel differently about that than I do about NBA YoungBoy having 12 children.
I mean, yeah,
You're in
young boy finna be
jail,
locked up though. He finna be in there with
but
dude.
he still got money though. Like, there's still an estate that can be drawn from for these kids. Now I don't know if it's gonna happen, but the premise of it, if I'm NBA YoungBoy and I'm fucking these bitches, is like I got money anyway. Like, it ain't gonna be like my child is out here like struggling. But the nigga that's in jail with 29 kids, and like I'm a nigga that's serving a pack and I'm barely making it, and like, nigga, my whole life depends on this zip that I'm gonna sell this week, and who I like, man, bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. You need to wrap it up, nigga. You need to get the vasectomy tomorrow. But
See,
if I'm Nick Cannon or I'm NBA YoungBoy, like, nigga, I can afford it. Fuck it. You could be mad at it, but whatever.
listen, I have a little bit of a sore spot for broken homes. I understand the money part, but I'm cool.
Yes, sir.
That's a little selfish, but hey, man, I ain't got the bread like that. Maybe you think differently at that level, because them niggas is
Yeah.
paid. Let's be clear. So maybe you think a little
Yes.
differently when you got the resources. Um, on
Yes.
deck of the week, we are going to YouTube, man. Shout out to Hendrix Loco. Big Sean album was a waste of good beats and time.
Yes.
And a time like this, I expect more. We deserve better. LOL. And then Kilo Beats OG 8274 said Jay popped out for Pusha T's solo album. It's almost dry on the neck and wrist. Pause. And and that was back in 2022. So it seems like Pusha can get a Jay feature pretty regularly. Of course, we talked about what was holding up the Clips album. Salute to the
Right.
Hendrix Loco and Kilo Beats. I don't know if it's gonna be Jay on that Clips, but I'll take it though. It might be now though that Nicki and Birdman, because that next
He
J16
got
is
some
going to
shit to
be highly
Hove gonna
anticipated.
have some shit to say. He is definitely gonna have some shit to say. I can't wait to hear the next Jay-Z 16. I will say that.
That's a fact. What you got on deck? Put us on something.
To put on for me is the new Sopranos documentary on HBO Max, or Max as it's
Ooh, that's
called
out.
nowadays. Why? Yes, it's The Wise Guys, a breakdown of how David Chase created the Sopranos. It's on Max now, man. I need to watch the other part of it, but very good watch if you're a Sopranos fan. If you follow David Chase heavily, it's really not anything new, but it does feel good just to hear him talking about that world if you haven't been there in a while and watched the show. So that's definitely, I think, The Wise Guys, the name of it. And again, I want to reiterate another week in the books, man. One of my favorite episodes of podcasting that I've ever recorded was this past weekend. It was just listening to this young man's story. Shout out to School, shout out to Rich, my co-host over that. We're doing book 2 of Another Week in the Books. If you like what I do here or any other places that you listen to me on podcasts, that will be a dope episode for you to listen to and give us feedback on. We've gotten tremendous amounts of feedback that have been very uplifting of what he came on there and did. So y'all go check that out. What you got?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm gonna go to some quick music. Conway and Ransom put out a project. Chaos is My Ladder 2. Again, you know how they get down a little 10-piece, man. It's very, very solid, nice out the way rap. And then Bel Air wrapped up season 3, what I thought was the best season of Bel Air. So make sure y'all check that out if you've been sleeping or if you were skeptical. Like, man, I don't know. I didn't know it was out. I'm telling you, check that out. The whole season was fire. I need Peacock to hurry up and renew that. I don't know what they waiting on, but that shit was crack. So definitely check that out.
Yeah, I need to check out the latest season. I'm already caught up. Again, I've been made a believer through the first 2 seasons. I just got done with the season finale of season 2. Well, excuse me, the finale of season 2. So I'm going to check out episode 1, season 3, very soon. Last put on, I don't know about your football team, but my football team is 1-0, dog. Dallas had on. I don't see no Packers gear over there. I'm wondering what happened to you fellas, but I mean, I guess I'll let you guys make it up throughout the season. Yeah, football is back, baby. For everybody that didn't know, now you know. Check out the Cap, America's team. Let's go. Start our helmets. Who you root for again?
And nigga, America's team got sent to Brazil, nigga, to represent for the world. The hell is you talking about?
Jesus Christ. I got sent over there and got cooked up. Lost our quarterback for the season. All that good shit. Man.
Lost our quarterback for the season?
Well, 6 weeks.
Play next week.
It may as well be y'all season, because if y'all don't do well when he gone, it's over.
They ain't ruled him out for Sunday. Hot at you.
Oh, stop it, bro. He got 4 weeks.
He'll be back in 2.
You guys will have what's my man name? I don't even Malik Willis.
Jordan Love
is your starting quarterback next week. How you feel about this? How you feel about Malik Willis being your starting quarterback next week? Tell me that as a Packers fan.
I'm hot about that too. I'd rather have Kendrick Lamar as my goddamn quarterback. Nigga, some slaw. Man, another episode in the books, guys. We appreciate y'all tapping in. YouTube.com/OnDeckTV show if you want to watch. Anything else before we get out of here?
I'm good, man. We appreciate y'all joining us every week. Tune in, comment, rate, like, do all the stuff to make podcasts popular. We appreciate it. In the words of the guys over at FSP, tell a friend, man. Word of mouth is the best way to travel with these podcast trees. So tell somebody about this podcast and any other podcast that was mentioned while we were talking about this.
Absolutely, man. Till the next time, we out.